Is it cheating if you use 3D assets on your comic, on your manga, on your webtoon? Is it cheating? Is it cheating? You let me know what you think. Is it cheating? Now I'm gonna let you know right now. It's not cheating. It's not cheating. Let's talk about this, because guess what? The creator of JuJutsu Kaisen, which has sold hundreds of millions of copies, used 3D models. And a lot of people are trying to be like, oh, like they exposed him. We're exposing Geeky. It's like, okay, chill. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about, is using 3D models cheating? Absolutely not. So let's talk about this. Now, real quick, go check out My Sexy Witch Academia, chapters 1, 2, and 3, currently on Kickstarter. We're trying to get to 15,000. That'd be really awesome if we could do that. That lets me know that we can continue on the series at a certain pace, which is fantastic. And link in the description. We'll talk about this more at the end of the video. But let's get into this. All right, so there's talk on the Twitters. Gigi, the creator of JuJutsu Kaisen, sold millions and millions of copies. It's been shown that he used 3D models. Oh my gosh. How could he have done this? And this was brought about from this question, actually. Do you consider it cheating to use 3D models for poses and drawings? And this creator went, this person posted that, like, hey, Gigi used 3D models for his stuff. And so if you've never used 3D models, so like if you've never drawn a comic book, I've drawn lots of comic books. Typically what you'll do is if you're doing it digitally, you do it in various layers. Layer 1 is like an initial sketch. Layer 2 will be like a more refined sketch. Layer 3 will be like your quote-unquote type pencils. And then like layer 4 would be like your inks, and then you've got your gray tones. And so, but when you use 3D models, like you can go from like your initial sketch, and then you can make your 3D model over it. And if you're good at inking, like if you're good at just straight to inks, you can just ink over that 3D model. I know that I do it sometimes. By the way, I use 3D models all the time. I'm not even gonna deny that I don't. I 100% do. I will sometimes go like with the 3D model, go like straight to inks. I'll just draw right over it, or I'll just use it to like get it like a tight sketch and then ink over it. And so you can see from these sketches, at the very top right here, you'll have Gigi, and he does his initial sketch. Then he would have his assistants using that initial sketch put 3D models over it. Then if you look down, they would then do a tight pencil over the 3D model, saving them a layer, saving them like time, and then he would go straight to inks. And so like this is fantastic. Like this is great. And here's the thing: a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, he used 3D models. Like this is cheating. You have to realize this, okay? In the professional world of art, people are cheating all the time. Actually, professional artists are told, like, when you're on a strict deadline, hey, like, do what you got to do. You think that some of these, like, artists who are, like on these TV shows who are having to draw, like, multiple types of cars and whatnot, that, like, from various angles, that they're just doing it from their head? No, man, they're using 3D models because they've got to get this done at a very strict timeline. And so when you're a mangaka, these chapters come out weekly. So, like, think about this. And so, like he's got essentially, like, he's got to write the script. He's got to get it approved. He then, once it's got approved, then he can go to the sketches, then type pencils, and then inks. He essentially has, like, 3 to 4 days to put out a 20-page chapter. You don't think this guy is going to find... You don't think these mangaka are going to find various ways to speed up their production of their book so that and so if you think this is cheating, this is this is not cheating, because here's the thing, and I'll tell you this, and I'm going to look it straight in the camera when I say this. Just because you have a 3D model doesn't mean that your art is amazing. It doesn't mean that your composition is going to be amazing. It doesn't mean that your design is going to be amazing. In fact, I'll tell you this. if you aren't good at drawing, you won't be able to use a 3D model. Like, someone who uses a 3D model, all right, I'll say this. I know an artist who they strictly use 3D models. They can't draw without them, and yet I can tell like that they're just like super tracing over them, and it's not good because they don't have composition experience. They don't know how to make it like a scene exciting. They don't know like perspective, and so like you can tell they're using 3D environments and 3D assets and 3D poses, but like everything is weird. Everything just looks off because they don't understand those those basic stuff. And here's the thing: I don't understand those. I'm not the most perfect artist. I'm not. But I try to make it look like I'm good at it. I try to make it look like competent at least. And I'm always trying to learn, always try to get better. But the big point of this is like, this isn't cheating. Using tools and assets that are built for the modern age is not cheating at all, especially when it comes to timelines and productions. Now, Tyler, how come you're using 3D models and whatnot? You don't work for Shonen Jump. You don't work for Marvel and DC. You're not putting a blah, 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 blah. Listen, I still got time. I still got time constraints. I'm here out in Hawaii for work. I don't have that time to draw. I got time to make this video though. So yeah, like why not? Now, I know what some people are going to say. Well, if 3D models are okay, then when is it going to get to the point where AI is okay? When are we going to normalize AI? And honestly, like, I find that to be like a completely disingenuous argument, because with 3D models, you still have to, like, someone had to create the 3D model and someone had to draw over it at some point. Now, if you're dropping assets, someone at some point had to create that asset. And you either got it for free, you got a license to use it, or you bought it, or you paid someone to create that 3D asset for you, or you created it yourself. Regardless, a human touched that 3D asset at some point. A human made that 3D asset. A human was paid at some point, or they just gave it away. But a human made the decision to either give it away for free or to sell it, or to create it. The thing with AI is AI doesn't do that. AI just steals, doesn't give credit, is just pulling from things and doesn't give credit, and there's no way for a human to get credit for that. And so like it's completely disingenuous, like, to say that, oh, like literally there's a huge difference between like doing a prompt that says draw me this comic book and this panel, blah blah, then okay, like, gotta do my sketch. Sweet, that took 20 minutes. Okay, now I've got to like refine it. All right. Now I got to put this asset in there, or you got to find the right asset, or you got to go build the right asset, or you got to pay someone to make the asset. And then you draw over that, and then you put your 3D model figure in. You go, okay, now you got to pose it. Okay, now you got to draw over it. It's completely different. I hate the argument. Listen, I'm going to take advice from people who are selling millions of copies of books. If Gigi's doing it, you should be able to too. And don't let anyone, by the way, like dissuade you, make you feel like shit for using 3D models. People used to, I remember feeling like so guilty because I couldn't draw, I couldn't figure out anatomy. I bought all the books, I did all this crap to try to better my drawing, couldn't figure it out. And finally one day I saw an artist that I super respected. He's like, for my comics, I take reference photos of myself, I put them on a layer, and then I turn the opacity down, and then I draw over myself. And I was like, oh, like maybe I can do that. And I was just tracing over myself. And I learned so much from tracing and taking those kind of reference photos. And then I would start grabbing other photos like from iStock and Google and like drawing and learning. It was fantastic. It was such a fantastic learning experience. And then I got to started putting 3D models. And then you start learning how to draw hands using 3D models and posing them. And you go, oh, I figure out if I can do this. And then you can practice lighting and shading. Listen, they're called tools. They're called assets. They're available. Use them. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty about using them. All right. Yeah, I got a plug. Now, if you stayed this long, you'll have noticed two things. The first thing is this. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll see that I was wearing a different shirt. And you're probably thinking, and I said that tomorrow I'm going to film another video. Well, here's the thing. Guess what? I'm filming this video the same day that I filmed yesterday's video. I changed my shirt to make it look like it's a different day, but it's not. And the way that you know that's not is if you look at my screen, it still says 12 days. It should say 11 days if I was recording this video at a different time, but I'm not. Think about that. I'm tired, guys. I had a really long day, but all right. My Sexy Witch Academia number 1, 2, and 3 is out on Kickstarter. We're trying to get to 15,000 right now. That's our first stretch goal. We funded in 3 minutes. We have some freaking fantastic covers that I do not want to show here. Harriet Pope is a new student at Raven's Academy for Wizards and Witches. She also has a dark secret. She's the most powerful witch in the world, and she's being hunted. Like, literally every bad creature, every bad juju person is trying to get into this school and attack Harriet. Why? Because she has a secret that she cannot let any of her friends know, and she is on a mission to find the Chaos Shards. They are hidden in the school. What are the Chaos Shards? You're going to have to find it. Guys, this chapter is fantastic because we've been basically like slow rolling. What are the Chaos Shards? What are they doing? What's Harriet's purpose here? And now we're going to hit it in this chapter. Now we're going to be like, this is what the story is all about. This is the chapter. So super excited for you guys. Go check out this book. Link's in the description. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, I don't think my camera's about to die, so I can't do another one of these. So tomorrow, though, when you see it, this will be the third video I do, but it's going to say 11 days, and that's how you'll know I recorded a new video. So I'm not lying. Maybe I'll be wearing the same shirt. Who freaking knows? By the way, should I do more of these? Guys, I like this camera, by the way. I like this camera. I like the setup. I've got my mic on my hotel. Very portable, very nice. All right. My elbows are like super ashy. All right, this is getting to a piece.